Recording. Hi.
Hi, everyone. Hi, sis.
Hi.
So
We're on lesson
we're on
5.
lesson 35. Is that correct?
Yes.
My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. I need to repeat that because I really would like you to join me in breathing that in, not just intellectually, but breathing the meaning of it into our hearts, right? My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Today's idea does not describe the way you see yourself now. It does, however, describe what vision will show you. It is difficult for anyone who thinks he is in this world to believe this of himself. Yet the reason he thinks he is in this world is because he does not believe it. You will believe that you are part of where you think you are. That is because you surround yourself with the environment you want, right? So, and you want it to protect the image of yourself that you have made. He's speaking about, of course, the ego part of the split mind, right? So we need our environment, the ego's projection of its environment, to support and perpetuate the ego's image of itself. So, oops, I've lost where I'm at. Where am I up to? Okay. The image is part of this environment. What you see while you believe you're in it is seen through the eyes of the image. That's the ego filter that we're looking through. This is not vision. Images cannot see. What he's saying here is the ego cannot see, and therefore it cannot understand. Paragraph 3. The idea for today presents a very different view of yourself. And that idea is, repeating it here, my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. By establishing your source, it establishes your identity with a capital I, and it describes you as you must really be in truth. We will use a somewhat different kind of application for today's idea because the emphasis for today is on the perceiver rather than on what he perceives.
So that's great. So we have been recognizing that what we see as images outside of ourselves that are causing us distress, right? Those are effects from our mind, and we're learning to choose again. But now he's addressing the nature of the mind. Which so-called mind is it that we are doing the thinking from and the seeing out of? Is it the ego thought system, which is what the ego made as a substitute? Or are we recognizing our union with the mind of God? And that really depends on what we choose to be.
Again, it's choice.
Mm-hmm.
What do we really, really want?
Right. How do we identify ourselves? As a sinful, separated mortal and body bound, or the innocent child of God, Christ, spirit idea in the mind of God? Wow.
Thank you, sis. Yeah. Paragraph 4. For each of the 3 5-minute practice periods today, begin by repeating today's idea to yourself and then close your eyes and search your mind for the various kinds of descriptive terms in which you see yourself. Include all the ego-based attributes which you ascribe to yourself, positive or negative, desirable or undesirable, grandiose or debased. All of them are equally unreal because you do not look upon yourself through the eyes of holiness. Wow. So this is both negative and positive, right? What he's saying here is that they're all coming from the ego filter that we have chosen to look through.
Right. So mythical me and its positive qualities and its negative qualities, bring them all up, right? How would you describe yourself? Positives and negatives. Yeah.
So going to paragraph 5, in the earlier part of the mind searching period, you will probably emphasize what you consider to be the more negative aspects of your perception of yourself. Toward the latter part of the exercise period, however, more self-inflating descriptive terms may well cross your mind. Try to recognize that the direction of your fantasies about yourself does not matter. Illusions have no direction in reality. They are merely not true. Just to stop here, I recall staying on this exercise back when I first began it. I don't know for how long, at least for 2 days, I think, because what I did is I grabbed a notepad and pen and let the ego run. I wanted to kind of dredge what the ego was saying, dredge it out, because I wanted to bring it up to the light of Holy Spirit to be quickly subsumed, you know. You may want to do that yourself. I don't know, but it's just a suggestion. So we go to paragraph 6 here, a suitable unselected list for applying the idea for today might be as follows. So this is an example, right? I see myself as imposed on or victimized. I see myself as depressed. I see myself as failing. I see myself as endangered or threatened. I see myself as helpless. I remember putting down back then for me as hopeless, right? I see myself as victorious. I see myself as losing out. I see myself as charitable. I see myself as virtuous. And you could keep going, right? You should not think of these terms in an abstract way. They will occur to you as various situations, personalities, and events in which you figure across your mind. Pick up any specific situation that occurs to you, identify the descriptive term or terms you feel are applicable to your reactions to that situation, and use them in applying today's idea. After you've named each one, add this. But my mind is part of God's I am very holy. During the longer exercise periods, there will probably be intervals in which nothing specific occurs to you. Do not strain to think up specific things to fill the interval, but merely relax and repeat today's idea slowly until something occurs to you. Although nothing that does occur should be omitted from the exercises. Nothing should be dug out with effort. That's very important. Neither force nor discrimination should be used. It's got to be a natural, inspired flow, right? Yeah. As often as possible during the day, pick up a specific attribute or attributes you are ascribing to yourself at the time and apply the idea for today to them, adding the idea in the form stated above to each of them. If nothing particular occurs to you, merely repeat the idea to yourself with eyes closed. My mind is part of God's I am very holy.
And I think, again, this bears just looking at that gap diagram. This is our mind in its natural state. at one with God, right? The unified mind, our mind and God's mind being one. And then there's the split mind with its mythical me. And it doesn't matter if value, if the ego is promoting mythical me as like I'm virtuous or I'm charitable, I'm such a great guy, I get along with everybody, or the negative side, I'm a failure, I'm unworthy, I'm never going to get it, only good things only happen to other people. This is the mythical me and its judgments on itself. Yet all of that, the self doesn't exist, and the mind that is saying these things or evaluating is this insane split part of our mind and has nothing to do with the truth. Only when we're allowing what God is, or Holy Spirit is imparting to us, are we in our right mind, and can we properly evaluate what we are. When you are sharing with the mind of the Holy Spirit, we will feel and know our holiness. And these are the fruits of our holiness.
Beautiful. Can you open that up again?
Yes.
What just came barreling in then was the thought of the body. So, I don't know about everyone else, but I have had many thoughts about the body, the state of the body, the state of its health, the state of its appearance, like for many women, especially some men too, is that whole thing about having a sexy body, right? The body image. You've got to look the part, right? So when those thoughts come up, I've got pride about my body because it's in good shape. I go to the gym every day. All of that needs to also be included in this exercise. Yeah.
Right.
Or I'm, 50 pounds overweight, or I'm looking 75 when I'm only 65. All of these thoughts have got to be given over.
Right. Yeah. So pluses and minuses, no matter whether they deal with circumstances in our lives, core beliefs we hold about ourselves, and even our thoughts about the body. Right? Okay. But when what happens to that body and all those judgments go, right? When we're willing to side with God. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sis.
My mind is part of God's. We are very holy.
So
holy. Very holy.
Very holy. Very holy.
Yeah.
So in the next lesson, hopefully we're going to talk about what does that mean? What does that mean? What does I am very holy mean?
Why do I care? Why is this relevant? Okay. Well, we'll see you at the next one. Thanks, guys. Lesson 5.
Bye.
Bye-bye.